Hi, this is Drew with Daniels Ag Services with your morning report. Markets finished up mixed yesterday. You had corn and wheat lower on the day. Beans were unchanged. Mixed again so far this morning. You got corn and beans higher while wheat is lower on the day. We got crop progress yesterday, so let's grab the whiteboard and take a look at the data. All right, so what we're going to do is we're just going to work our way through planted, emerged, and then harvested. Good to excellent ratings, and then wheat headed. So planting progress, we didn't get any corn numbers. We're pretty much done planting as far as corn goes. So nothing to cover there. Beans came in at 87% complete planted. That's versus 78% last week. And then spring wheat came in at 95% planted and 88% compared with what it was last week. So not a whole lot of planting progress left to cover here. This will probably be the last week we take a look at it here. Some other numbers that we'll need space for on the whiteboard, and as you can see, we're using pretty much all of it here, so not a whole lot of spare room. As far as emerged go, corn came in at 92%. That's a gain of 12% from last week. It came in at 80% last week. Beans emerged came in at 71% versus 50% last week. And then winter wheat harvested, that's what we're looking at down here, came in at 9%. Didn't get any data last week, but the 5-year average is 12%. So not too far off the 5-year average as far as winter wheat harvested goes. Good to excellent ratings for corn came in at 75%. That's a 1% drop from last week, so not a huge change there. Beans came in at 74%. Didn't get any data last week. Don't have anything to go off of from last year due to the fact that we didn't have any condition ratings this time last year because the crop wasn't far along yet, but the average estimate was 72%, so came in a little higher than what the trade was expecting. And then winter wheat, good to excellent ratings, came in at 30%. That was unchanged from last week. And then wheat headed came in at 86% versus 79% last week. So that covers crop progress for this week. There is some other data out there that we just couldn't fit on the whiteboard. I will link the crop progress report to the Wilkins Ag Wire email and also in the Grain Analyst Daily Report. So check it out there. You can go view the whole report and take a look at it. Also, as mentioned yesterday, I'll have WASDE tables for the estimates and range of estimates versus what we had in May in the Wilkins Ag Wire email and on the Grain Analyst page as well. So that way you can take a look at those, get a feel for what the trade's thinking we might get for tomorrow's report. And then tomorrow, whiteboard will have some new data on there over won't be able to fit the whole breadth of the WASDE estimates, but we'll have some important ones on there to go over. And then, of course, we get the WASDE tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central. So keep your eye out for that. Trade estimates, again, will be in the Ag Wire and in the daily report over at grainanalyst.com. And just make sure you're aware that the report is coming out at 11 tomorrow. Can induce some volatility in the market, so just make sure you're prepared for that if you have a position on. So that's all we've got for today. If you've got any questions, let me know. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow morning.
This material is conveyed as a solicitation for entering into a derivatives transaction. This material has been prepared by Daniels Ag Services broker who provides research market commentary and trade recommendations as part of his or her solicitation for accounts and solicitation for trades. Daniels Ag Services, its principals, brokers, and employees may trade in derivatives for their own accounts or for the accounts of others. Due to various factors such as risk tolerance, margin requirements, trading objectives, short-term versus long-term strategies, technical versus fundamental market analysis, and other factors, such trading may result in the initiation or liquidation of positions that are different from or contrary to the opinions and recommendations contained therein. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future performance. The risk of loss in trading futures contracts or commodity options can be substantial, and therefore investors should understand the risks involved in taking leveraged positions and must assume responsibility for the risks associated with such investments and for their results. You should carefully consider whether such trading is suitable for you in light of your circumstances and financial resources. You should read the risk disclosure accessed at www.danielsagservices.com. Daniels Ag Services is not affiliated with, nor does it endorse any trading system, newsletter, or similar service. Daniels Ag Services does not guarantee or verify any performance claims made by such systems or services.